Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody, depending on where you are. Once someone gets on, please let me know if you can hear and see me okay. That's always important. Plus, there's nobody on in the beginning, so I want to just ramble in this part for the people that catch the replay, so there's not just me sitting here with dead air. So hopefully, all right, now we got some folks rolling in. Somebody let me know that you're there. Let me know that you can hear me. Say hello, say hi, say other things that mean those same two things. I'm not as clever and I don't start being clever until noon, so you'll have to forgive me on that. All right, Rafi says hi, hello. Facebook user says hello. Jim says hi.
Hey, Jim.
Let me turn the sound over there. Anthony says hi. Facebook user says LMC. Loud and clear. Got it. Maddie, what's up, Matt? Says good morning. Padeep says hello, Chris. Hello, hello, hello. Let me just see if I can't. I can't figure out how to do that yet. I was going to do, they have this built-in giveaway thing on StreamYard, but I can't figure out how to use it. So that's going to have to wait until next time. Peter says, hey, Saket, hey, Chris. Hey, Jim says, never seen 3 more handsome men on screen than right now. Traffic tools and training. There's your free plug. Says hello from the UK. We'll get started in a minute or two. We just want to give our perennially late SEO community a chance to get on here. Facebook user says hello. Facebook user says hi, Chris. If you are showing up as Facebook user, please go to streamyard.com/Facebook to authorize. Forkin and Digital says hello, Chris and Saget. Larry says hello, guys. Maddie says love the value from these. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Russell Freddie Edmonds says yo Pete.
Yo Russell.
Click K says Saket. What about me? Alexis says Alexa, say hello, Chris and Saket. I have it unplugged right now. Wrecked you. Click K says Chris. There we go. MD says hello, boss. Sound is good. Yo, go for it, guys. Local airline pilot here. Oh, okay. I know who this is then. Favorite passengers. Aisha says hello. Hector says what up? Wow, lots of folks running on. I guess 11 a.m. isn't that big a deterrent, so that's good. Yeah. Sadia says, good to see you again. We'll get started at 11:04, which gives us about 1 more minute. But while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and record us from another position. So
classic, yeah. Classic Chris.
This has a camera built in, so I'm recording from this as well. So later you can see the reverse angle.
Yeah,
I'm like a secret agent over here. So.
Yeah, that's so cool. I should get.
And those of you, he says, classic Chris. Those of you that have been around for a while know that I used to wear sunglasses in my my videos, and that's what that was about. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause that now because it looks ridiculous. But, Saket gonna whack it with PBN. Yeah, let's not talk about his private life. Oh, you meant with? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nail it, Saket. Through some knowledge bombs. There's a September Funko Pop. Just by the way, oh shoot, Serpentor. Oh, okay. Yeah, tomorrow is my Funko Pop day, so I'm gonna go buy some more. Cool stuff. Says Google Ads. No, they are Wayfair stories, which is great for me because they tie into Facebook. But I like Wayfarers anyway, so it's a win-win. Med says, yes, these are the glasses I love. What's up, Saket?
Yo.
All right, let's go ahead and get started because we got a lot to cover today and I want to stop talking. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest. He is our returning champion from I guess it's been about 2 years since the last time I had him on. His name is Saket Wahi. He is somebody I've known for pretty close to a decade now, give or take, from various SEO places. And he's a PBN seller. He's really one of the forefront leaders in SEO PBN links. And he's got some great stuff to share with us today. So Saket, say hello, introduce yourself, and everybody say hello to him, please.
Hey, everybody. To everybody who joined, I'm Saket. I'm doing SEO since the last 7 to 8, 9 years. And I'm into the PBN business since 5 years. So I've been testing a lot of strategies and different ways of building PBNs and leveraging them. So yeah, just this recent case study. Let's start talking about the case study now.
Yeah, go for it.
Just a year ago, a client of mine just came to me and he's like, I want to rank these agency terms and I want to rank them quick. And I was like, okay, you want to rank it quick? And how quick though? And he was like 2 months, 3 months, because we are a startup. We need to start seeing some leads for us to be a profitable and, recurring business model. So I was like, okay, how about we do 100 PBN links? And bro, like Chris, I wasn't sure about that time. I was like, okay, let's do it, because there's this fear when you say 100 PBN links a month, initially. And we started doing it, and 3 months later, he started ranking for SEO, city, like location keywords. He started, like getting traffic, getting leads, and he's like, okay, let's take it to next level. So after that, he's like, okay, let's take it nationwide. So we took it nationwide, and I wanted to make this case study long ago, but Chris, like all the naysayers of PBNs, I was like, okay, I'll wait for a year, all the Google updates, it's going to survive, and then I'm going to post in 1 year and be like, 1,500 PBN links, the site's still rocking, like, so that's a bit about the case study.
Yeah, that's an important thing to do, is to wait, because first of all, any results you show in SEO, people love to shoot it down. Like, as a culture, we tend to be a bit, I don't want to say toxic, but a very negative and doubt everything. And maybe that's for the best, because there've been some bullshit. But you say it's been a year that you've been doing this, right? So what kind of results? Like, it was a brand new site. Like, what kind of ranking, what kind of results, how many keywords, that sort of thing? Because that's what people will want to know.
So the keywords, including the LSIs, they go in hundreds and even like thousands, because SEO services, like New York, SEO company in New York, you can get like hundreds of them. So those are terms that are currently ranking on like top 3, most of them, and they are getting all that leads. And yeah, like you mentioned, like there's a bit of a toxic culture when it comes to like PBNs, but you know what? I've come to an understanding, like it's basically, like people who come to SEO and they try their best and, they quit 2 months later and they're like, SEO is dead. I think it's the same with PBNs. Like, it's a very high-end skill, and you just can't enter and be like, okay, I'm going to start a PBN and I'm going to start seeing results. You need experience. You need to polish this skill. And that's why people who literally, can't succeed with PBNs, they'll be like, oh, PBNs are dead, and they'll be very stuck on it. And I'm like, bro, come on, like.
And so let's back up a little bit, because I don't know, I don't want to assume everybody watching knows what it is. Can you just briefly like tell what a PBN is?
Yeah. So PBN is a private block network, and it's basically you get high authority domains registered under your registrar, and you do it in bulk. So you create like a big network, and you basically just use them as normal blogs. And why PBNs work most effectively even today in 2022 is because the links are coming from the homepage. And there's something about the homepage contextual backlinks that Google gives so much power to. Any niche edit, any guest post, like Google's like, oh, wow, this is coming from homepage. And yeah, you basically post the article and then you put in your anchor text and you send it to your money site, and that's a PBN link.
Okay. And guys, any questions you have, go ahead and load them up and we'll take them as they come. But I'm going to keep going on this. So what makes a PBN link unique, in your opinion, like more or less effective than, say, a guest post or niche edit or any other kind of link, like an editorial link?
Yeah, it's coming from the homepage. Homepage contextual backlink, Google seems to, like look at it as the top priority. And whenever you link it from the homepage, you'll see like a bump, like straight away ranking boost. And niche edits, they're coming from the inner pages. And, like today you see a lot of niche edit sellers, and, they're selling inner page backlinks, and they have like a lot of like 7 to 8 outbound links. So I don't think it's working that effective that it was used to be working like 2-3 years ago. And guest posts, it's nice for diversity. I'm not against niche edits in guest posts. I do use it for my own website as well. It's just that I would never use it as like a priority link and be like, okay, I'm going to rank it with guest posts and niche edits, that kind of thing.
Okay. Maddie Jason says, how cautious were you with your anchor text while using so many PBN links on one site? Any technique you could share?
Yeah, so Matty, the main technique here was basically we took all the keywords, so all the list of the keywords. So let's say you're doing 100 PBN links, and you take all the list of the keywords. So you take 5 pages, and each page has like direct anchors and partial anchors and LSIs. So you combine the list together, and yeah, you basically link with a very unique anchor text. And this is the month 1. And month 2, you can combine with a bit of branded, a bit of keyword. Month three, you can go a bit of naked. So it's always like unique, very, very unique. Like I try to keep it like as unique as possible. Like direct anchors, I might just include like every 4th or 5th month, but I won't do it like often. I have to hit like SEO New York 100 times. I wouldn't do it. I just play around, and all the keywords would leverage each other, and they'll just, like.
Okay. Jacqueline says, I've seen Saket Wahi's starter price at $55. What do people get for that? What would you recommend as a budget for this?
55 is for some. $55 gets you 5 links, so it's basically for someone who just wants to test a low competitive like article or a money page. So it can still give you a little push, but if you want real results, Jacqueline, lower to mid to high competition, I'd say like at least 20 to 50, 100 PBN links. And if it fits your budget, then you can increase to 100, like.
Yeah. A lot of that's going to depend on the keywords and the existing authority and stuff too. So.
Yeah.
Cool Stuff asks, how difficult is it to maintain a PBN network?
Oh, very difficult.
Yeah.
So basically we have 3 people managing the hosting, the renewals, the site up, down, the indexing. So yeah, there's a full team on operation. If you want to do it solo, good luck.
Yeah. I mean, if you're selling things, I think if you were just doing it for your own clients, you could get away with like a 10 site network or a 20 site network, right? Depending on, maybe like buy one network for each client or something like that. But as a seller, other than staff, it's by far my biggest expense every month is the hosting.
It's getting expensive. Inflation's on the road. Yeah.
Well, and part of that's because I do, and I know you do too. I have stricter standards, because once a site gets up to 10 or 20 posts, I stop using it, but I leave it there forever. So that's a site that I'm gonna have to pay for the hosting for at least a few years. And, I sell hundreds of thousands of these a month, and so do you. So my point to that story is that the cost just stays there and it's expensive. So know what you're getting into if you decide to become a seller.
Yeah.
Jeff Blythe says, not sure how this works. Do you write article on PBN and send to my new site? Is that the right concept? So 2 questions there is, what do you do for content? And then the other question is just, where do you send it? Do you send it to a home page, inner page, something in between, so on?
So yeah, Jeff, we'll take a unique piece of content. Either it'll be done by a human or we'll just get it done by AI, like GPT-3 kind of level of production. And what we'll do is we'll basically target it to your homepage and your inner pages as well. So it looks more natural, because you just don't want to be targeting the same page over and over again. And Google's like, I know, mate, you're trying too hard. So, you just need to see how Google would see things. And in that perspective, you just adapt to that strategy, which looks the most natural. So yeah, we include like a couple of pages, and that's, I think, the right concept. If that's your question.
All right. And this is from Ram Pratap, says, will your links provided for purchase remain on the homepage?
Hey, Ram. So they stay on the homepage for at least 4 to 5 weeks, and we let them roll into the inner pages. Reason being is because if I do 1,500 PBN links and they all stay on the homepage, it looks a bit dodgy. So we kind of let the natural flow of things here and let the post roll naturally, and don't try to make it sticky, because I don't use sticky practices anymore. And yeah, like inner page rolling, like you'll get that boost in the first 4 to 5 weeks, and it does not go down when it rolls into the inner page, for some reason I can't understand, because like, yeah.
Okay. So then you just keep posting, even if you don't have more links to add, you just keep adding content.
New links. So new.
Yeah, well, okay. What I'm saying is, you just keep. Do you add, if you don't have new links to add to a PBN, do you just keep making posts anyway, just without links?
We kind of overbooked on the PBN side, so it's never a case that we have to post. Okay. Yeah. So make sure like all the PBNs are being linked at least 4 times a month.
Okay. Wayne says, how did you camouflage your footprint so Google did not blow up your PBN?
So we have almost like a 1,500 to 2,000 site network, around that range, because there's a lot of renewals and this and that. And we have spread these over like 5 to 6 registrars on unique accounts with whois. So it's like a lot of diversity. All these sites, they're coming from different registrars and IPs and stuff. And for hosting, we use unique A-class and C-class IPs. So yeah, they all have unique IPs. Google will never find, this network. They're very dedicated, very unique.
I don't think Google is as good at finding PBNs as people think they are either, because even with a big network like yours, that's a tiny drop in the ocean of all the websites that Google has to check out. So as long as you're not stupid about it, you should be fine, right?
Yeah. You just don't have to be dumb about it. Like,
yeah. What about design? How elaborate do you get with like the way they look?
So we're trying new things. We're testing new design elements. So with the design, we'll just keep it like very clean, like 5 pages on the top. So with the new design elements, we're keeping like very original, like unique pages. So it'll be like something like, oh, meet Chris. He talks about legit, like very unique menus. So it's like no like privacy policy, terms and conditions, home, about, contact. So we're trying to like raise the bar and increase the uniqueness by adding very unique pages and designs, like very simple, neat and clean. 5 posts on the homepage, a widget, logo, and all that basic stuff.
Yeah. So to make it look like a quote unquote real blog is basically the goal, and not like an elaborate website, like an actual blog in the sense that where somebody goes and writes about what they're interested in, like the way blogs were in 2003. So
I think Google's hunting even niche edits and guest posts. I think Google's hunting those sites with write for us, contribute, those kind of things. So you have to be careful. It's not even about PBN, it's about any site. So if you have that, your site will tank,
Yeah. Or I don't know if it'll necessarily tank. It just won't do anything. Is the case.
It won't do anything.
Yeah. No exact match. Kazi says, so basically PBN links from a landing page are called PBN. Not quite. You want to just elaborate on that a little?
So getting links from a website is called a PBN link, and a PBN is a private blog network, and it combines all the PBN sites which are linking to your website.
I think maybe what he's not getting is that a PBN is built on an old domain that someone previously owned, and then for whatever reason they stopped owning it. But that domain has a lot of power from the authority and the content and the links it already had. So just a link on any landing page isn't a PBN link, but a link on a powerful domain that is owned specifically by one person for the idea of improving SEO is what a PBN link is. Would that be a good way to explain it?
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, Chris, you're a PBN expert.
Well, I mean, I do a little bit. Frankie, what's up, Frankie? Frankie says, were these PBN links directly to the money site or tier 1 like guest posts?
We don't use tier strategies anymore. It's just a waste of time.
Interesting. I agree with that, but there are people that would argue that with you all day long.
Yeah. So let's argue.
The only thing I like to do is if I have like a social profile or something I want to rank, I'll point it to that. But that will link to the money site. But the goal there isn't to, improve the money site is to rank the social profile. But I guess that's sort of like a tiered link if you want to look at it that way. But I'm with you. I think, especially with a powerful link like a PBN, I don't want to waste that on a fucking Yelp page or something. Pardon my language. But yeah. So Creative says, I am assuming you can push this to the inner third level pages. I'm not sure what you mean. You mean, can you link to those pages, or do you? I don't quite understand that one.
Me too.
Okay, if you could just clarify a little bit, we'll be happy to come back to it. Home links. As someone that tried starter pack for a local arborist in a town of 50K people, we ranked for all our money key terms with just basic package alone, still generating leads to this day. That's awesome to hear. Results. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put your link on the screen because somebody just did a plug for you and we want money. I'm not going to be some little snake who pretends that he's doing something for the good of it. I mean, I am, but I want to also make money. Like, this isn't a charity. Yeah. How many PBNs can I create per day?
It depends, mate. If you targeting like a local tree company, you can do like 5 to 10 PBN links a day. If you're targeting a payday loan niche site, you can do like 50 PBN links a day. It just depends, you just have to, you can always schedule the PBNs in the future, and you can always use the past dates to create that variation. And whenever they get indexed, so it's like a normal drift feed. So you can always play around with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's better to start slow, not because of any worry of a penalty, but why use more than you need? You might only need 10. If you do 50, you just wasted a few $100 in time. So
yeah, because you know what I think as well, like Google needs that grace period of 4 to 6 weeks to detect that topical authority. Topical, it's relevant, it's having good content, good topical content. And once that's picked, then you can just, like smash the site like as hard as you want.
Yeah. And nobody's asked it yet, but how important would you say is having the on-page right before you do your PBN links?
Oh, very important. So I think like I've seen only selling like thousands and tens of thousands of PBN links every year. I would say only 2 times people come to me when they don't see results. One time when the on-page is not on point and I'm like correcting them, and then they see the results going up. And the second time when it's a Google update. Like when we do PBN links, there's a Google update, there's setbacks, and people get confused. They're like, why are we not getting results? Oh, we just dancing up and down. I'm like, it's not my links, it's just a Google update.
Well, you probably get people that don't listen to you too. Like they'll buy 10 links and do all the same anchor text to the same page kind of thing. I correct people when they do stuff like that. Some of them won't listen to me. So
I just cancel the order if he's too stubborn to sound.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the person. Like, I'll warn them and say, this isn't going to work. I'll do it if that's what you want. But, so that's the only other time I find that people don't get results is they don't take the advice.
Yeah.
Let's see. I see you offer to build PBN networks. How would I maintain them if I want to use them for my own money sites? I don't think you actually sell a build, right? You just sell domains.
We sell builds as well. No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I see your offer to build PBN. Yeah, mate. You just so after we give you the sites, you get 1 year hosting and 1 year registration, and we'll take care of the hosting side of things, and you take care of the posting side of things. And after 1 year, I can either transfer it to your host and your registrar, or you can just tell us to renew, and we can come up with a new like renewal price and hosting and talk about that stuff.
Lord. Sorry, I was just reading an email. All right. It's PBN because you mostly use WordPress to make thus the blog. But WordPress doesn't matter, although that's largely what most people use. But it could be any, in theory, it could be any CMS. Yeah, it's just WordPress is easy. Do 301 redirect type backlinks work if the web page, which is being 301 on my domain, and that domain has backlink from high authority site? I'm not sure I get that one.
Yeah, it works. I think he's saying like if there's a redirect on a homepage and he's redirecting to his domain, if that works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it can work, Yakin, but I'm not really keen on that strategy because we just
Yeah,
want
it
to
used
check.
to work. I never found it to be as effective as I thought it would be.
Yeah. You just want to make sure that you're doing all the things that are giving you the high leverage and just cut down all the things that are not giving you that kind of improvements, and then you'll find your unique strategy.
Great. So my site is brand new. How much and how soon would I get organic traffic, realistically speaking? That's kind of broad, but what would your answer to that be?
Yeah, just need to audit the site and see the keywords and what your intentions are and where you want to take it with the realistic expectations, and that can come up with a like how much and the numbers and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's a kind of a joke in the SEO industry that the answer to everything is it depends, but the reason that's the answer everybody gives is because every situation is unique. So usually
Yeah.
it does depend. So yeah, and that's a case like that. So what is partial report? Why not full report?
Yeah, mate, it's just that
Give you yours first.
there's a lot of dodgy people in the SEO industry, and if I start giving full reports, my business will be shut tomorrow, bro. So
Yeah.
don't do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Like I've had, list some of the things that have happened to me because of the sorts of things like this. When I first started doing them, I only gave out like the screenshots, which is what I still do. And one of the very first clients I ever had is what said something like, "If I don't have the link, how will I send money robot links to it?"
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you don't have the link. Then there are people who would purposely get links from the same person someone else did just so they could see the site and steal the other person's clients. There are people that would hack the site because they fucking suck. There are people that would intentionally negative SEO the site. There are people that would go and put it on fucking Facebook just to be an asshole. Part of my language, but this is a sensitive.
Or they'll send you threats, like with the site. I have your sites, like just don't get into it. And also, like, you want to make sure that all the clients on your PBN, they're like having some privacy. That's also a plus. Yeah.
Yeah, like if there were two chiropractors on the same site, one would go try to steal the other one's business.
Yeah.
SEOs in particular would do stuff like that. And plus, every site I have ever shown has either been negative SEO'd, DDoS'd, hacked. I've had death threats, literally people finding my home phone and sending me death threats because they saw something of mine. So that's why. That's why it's a partial.
That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, not to get off on a tangent, but I think I'm a pretty easygoing guy for the most part. And it amazes me that something like that can cause someone to be that angry to go carry that out. But that's the world we live in right now. So that's why it's a partial report. So I'm sorry, that topic triggers me a little bit. Tebby Chiropractic and Sports Medicine Clinic, there's your free plug, says, how many posts do you place on the homepage?
So 5. We keep it 5.
Oh, really? Wow. So you must have to constantly be getting new domains.
Yeah. I mean, so what we do is like we try to link each site 4 times a month. So each link stays at least 4 weeks, so on the homepage. So it rolls.
Okay. I limit mine to 10 to 20, just because I think that's kind of normal. But do you leave the entire post on the page, or do you have like a read more?
Entire post.
Me too. Because otherwise it's not really on the homepage.
Yeah, it's not really a PBN. It's just a site,
Yeah. So all of your articles would be relevant to my business. Is that correct?
Yeah, so basically relevant to the keywords you're targeting. So let's say it's a landscaping company in Charlotte. We'll start making articles about landscaping Charlotte, and that'll link to your business. So
yeah, that's one of the ways that I build relevance, because in a perfect world, I'd be able to have a relevant domain for everybody's thing, but that's just not feasible with the amount of volume that we do. So what I do is I can really, really tweak a post to be super duper relevant to what it's linking to. Like that means keyword in the title, in the URL, relevant content, and then the anchor over to it. And even I embed like a video that's relevant sometimes in an image to make it to pass on as much a topic authority as well as power to it. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
All right. Wayne says, do you ever use spun content, or is it all human written?
So we kind of diversify it. So 20% would be human written and 80% is all AI. So AI content's working pretty good. What's your thoughts on it, Chris?
We use some human writers and we use some Jasper, which is still kind of human written. It's just, pieced together from other people's, but it all passes Copyscape. So, and it reads like, it's not spun like old school, complete gibberish.
Quality is really high. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, that's about the only thing that Jasper type programs are good for, because if I was actually trying to get eyeballs on content, that content's worthless, but it reads well enough. It reads kind of like a Wikipedia entry, basically.
Yeah.
So. Alexis says, this is a great discussion between two experts. Definitely rewatching this. Awesome. Thank you, Alexis. Creative says, how much impact does specific traffic matrix on a domain play into the tiers you can buy? That's an elaborate question.
So traffic metrics. Is he talking about
metrics?
Oh, traffic metrics. So yeah, that's the metric it's nice to have, but with the PBNs, it's a bit of a different story, because most of the sites, when they're getting fresh and stuff, they need at least 6 to 8 months to get that, traffic and keyword indexing rolling. So one of the new metric that we're testing, Chris, it's very interesting, what we do. So we basically go to the Ahrefs and we go to the organic keywords.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to the movement, and you'll see new and lost. So you go after the lost and you see how the site was performing in the last day, and you'll get an idea if it's a really good domain or not. Because what I've realized is, after some of the domains which are getting .edu, .gov backlinks, some of them won't be performing well. So we started using this as a filter, and the results speak for themselves.
Interesting. That was gonna be my next question, is what metrics you're looking at, because I know there are people that are probably wondering that, but that's interesting. It makes it a little harder on a seller, because I like to offer specific things because people want to know that it has a specific thing. But when I do my own, sometimes I will, like my trust flow or domain authority or DR, none of that stuff will be good. I just look at the incoming links and a few other odds and ends. So
yeah, contextual backlinks are always on the top priority, but yeah, this is one factor that we added, and it's doing wonders.
Makes sense. Yeah, because if it's in theory, I assume what you're thinking is, if it's ranking for something, then it has good authority, or if it had been ranking for something, it had good authority for that keyword, type of keyword, and it just was generally a respected site because it was ranking.
Yeah.
Okay, cool stuff. Says, I have a small PBN network of 5 sites. How many links to the same money site can I put on each website on the network? I would say 1.
Yeah. You don't. Yeah,
Don't
because if you start putting 5, it creates like a pattern. So you want to avoid that.
Yeah, especially with a PBN that small. But yeah, I would never link to the same site from the same PBN more than once.
Yeah, of course.
How do you go about choosing the domains you add to your PBN? In addition to what you just talked about, what are some things that disqualifies a PBN for you?
So we don't look at the spam score. We don't look at the TF. It's just rubbish, it's never worked for us. And so all our metrics are based on testing and experimenting. And if it's not doing, it's not passing the test, we won't include it. So what I just mentioned before, we also include DR5 to DR30 to 40 plus. And usually the referring domains go to up to 30 to 100. And the contextual backlinks, we'll just make sure it has 2 to 3 top authority links from New York Times, BBC, AP News, that kind of links. And yeah, more 80%, we make sure that it's contextual backlinks, and they perform to do really well if I answered your question.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. I'm glad you said that about spam score, because we have a couple of clients that are absolutely obsessed with that, and it's such a bullshit metric. Moz hasn't been relevant for 10 years.
Yeah.
But they've done a great job.
Say on their website now on Moz, don't something I just don't remember. We not claiming that spam score is the metric you should look for, something like this along those lines.
Yeah, it's but I don't know. That's another one that irritates me, because they have no idea what it means, but there's a score, and people love a score of some kind. So,
yeah.
All right, there is how. Oh, I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Let me. If you want to check out Saket's services, you can visit legit.com/Saket Wahi. I love saying your last name.
Saket Wahi. But
All right, so let me get that on the screen because, again, we want to make money. Cool Stuff says my money site uses Taboola ad network. Well, a small PBN network of 5 to 10 sites work for me. Taboola is a way you monetize, kind of like AdSense. That doesn't really matter as far as PBNs go.
yeah, it's a relevant question.
Yeah. Meditation says I heard PBN don't work. I heard SEO is dead. I heard that I killed Roger Rabbit.
I heard meditation does not work.
Yeah, so I'm sorry to like pick fun at you. I'm sure that that's something you've heard and you have that as a question of if they do work. There's a lot of propaganda out there about that. And to be fair, a lot of people that say that probably truly believe it. They're probably just doing it wrong, or they've read, too many blogs that say links don't work. But PBNs absolutely work. You need to know what you're doing, but in life, we need to start knowing what we're doing before we do it a lot more than we all do as it is. So PBNs definitely work. You just have to do them correctly. Ahmed says, have you also tested linking out to the same money site frequently from the same PBN domain without issues? I do two max per domain. No, I never do that.
I've never done that as well, Ahmed. Because of the size of the network, we never really need to include twice on a site.
Right. I mean, it's just the juice isn't worth the squeeze, in my opinion. So, Ram says, Saket, have you found that your PBNs can assist with local SEO, such as pushing a GMB, GBP into the snack pack? That's an interesting question.
I'd say like it's a bit different to organic ranking and GMB ranking, because organic rankings we can get a site moving in 3 weeks, and I've seen with GMB definitely works, but you need to be a little patient, like 8 to 12 weeks. And I have a video on YouTube coming in the next month or so about GMB SEO and leveraging with PBN, so you can check it out, Ram.
Interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of different things that go into Google business ranking too. Like PBNs alone probably wouldn't get it done there, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, it's just like, it's basically embeds CID links and the NAP, so name, address, phone number. And those are the strategies that you use on Web 2.0 as well. So why not use it on a real site, and that can give you an actual push? So
interesting. Well, we'll look forward to that video. Danny says hello. What's up, Danny? Facebook user says hello. What's up, Facebook user? Frankie says, were all the PBNs topically relevant to the money site, like using majestic topical relevance, for example, or are you just focused on power? So you can answer that, but I also want you to answer in general. What do you consider to be relevance?
So relevancy for me, it's basically making sure, first things first, that your money site's being detected as properly, like as topical relevant website related to the keyword you're targeting. And when it comes to the PBN, you just create a relevancy within the post with YouTube videos, with images, with alt tags, with H2 headings, even like you can play around with the title as well. So we kind of just create relevancy. I used to look at the Majestic like 6-7 years ago. I stopped it and I've never looked back. So Frankie.
So for the domain itself, you don't really look at the relevance?
Not really. It's just basic blogs, something that's like been ranking good historically and has good authority links. We just repurpose it as a general blog, and then we'll just, include different niches and try to create categories. So it's like a blog covering different categories kind of thing.
You're probably driving some people crazy right now, because that's not what a lot of people think.
Yeah.
It's good to hear different voices. Yakin says, does 301 redirects type backlinks work if the web page is... Did we already answer this?
Yeah, we answered this before.
Okay. Don't link too much to products alone, 2 months. I'm not sure what that is. Do you recreate the sites or content with Wayback, or do you create a brand new layout and look for PBNs? Do you ever do a Wayback rebuild?
No, we don't.
I probably have less than 1% of mine that way. And it was only because I would find one that just had a really awesome build to begin with. Now, do you check Wayback just to make sure that it didn't used to be porn or spam?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah. For those that don't know, what we're talking about there is a site called archive.org that will let you look at what websites, in most cases, what they used to look like. So you can go and see what your site looked like in 2000. I think 2006 is as far back as it goes, or maybe 96, something like that. You can see, unless they specifically block it, you can kind of see what it used to be. And when you're buying a PBN, you want to make sure that it hadn't been porn or, Asian spam or any of that sort of thing in the past. So, what was I going to say? Now I forget. Can you build PBNs in Spanish or any other language?
We don't usually build PBNs non-English. We just try to keep our, we just try to keep it one language, one particular English language. And if you have to give us your Spanish keywords, what we'll do is we'll just put your Spanish keyword around the English text, and that seems to be working fine with foreign niches and foreign clients.
You know what I do is I'll write the whole thing in English and say the keyword is best dog collar. I'll say like best dog collar, or as it's called in Spanish, and then translate it to Spanish and use the anchor as the anchor. So it's kind of a way to make it look normal, but still get the right anchor.
Yeah, nice.
Chris, what is there in your background? Beautiful though. Oh, well, that's part of my my new hobby, Funko Pops, and then I have the Buddha painting back there. But part of that is I've been told that my backgrounds are too plain, so I started adding them in the background there to get some, I don't know, just to spice it up a little bit. So obviously it works. So thank you. It's a hobby of mine. Article Forge articles are quite well. I've never used Article Forge, but that's what I've heard. This is what I was going to ask. I'm glad somebody else reminded me. Why are blocking bots and crawlers to you PBN? Isn't it better if the links get crawled?
So we just block anything that's not Google. So you don't want your competitors to see those links and audit your sites, and you just want to keep it private and stuff. Like, it's a private block network. Why are you making it public if you're not blocking the bots?
Yeah, I think what Mohammed is getting confused on here, and I see this a lot, is they think that Ahrefs or Majestic or whatever metrics and seeing the links is somehow correlated to Google ranking, and it's not. Like, it's all those are discovery tools. They don't have any impact on ranking. Now they can help paint a picture for you of what's going on, but it doesn't matter if those pick them up. And like we talked about earlier, you want to hide your PBNs as much as possible because people suck. So how do you go about that? Do you use a plugin, or do you use robots, or what do you use for blocking?
Yes, we use link privacy. It does the job.
Okay, cool. Does he build them for clients? I guess what he's asking there is, do you build if you have like a private client, do you build like a specific network for them, or what do you do?
No,
you already have a big enough network.
We don't have time, that much time. We just have to, like this client, recent case study. If we start building a network from them, I don't think we'll be getting the similar results because,
it's a lot of work.
A lot of work. You have to minimize and just see what leverages the most.
I put 10,000. Chris and Saket, what are your input on the magnitude of topical trust flow of domains versus general relevancy? There's been a buzz about the topical trust flow. For PBNs, I think, Saket, your take is it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, I don't have a Majestic subscription anymore. So
okay. But I mean, even with not just the Majestic metric, but just in general, you don't care about the original topic of the site, right?
Yeah, not at all.
As long as it's nothing guns or porn or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Do you copy content from the Wayback machine for an old domain? I do not. Not only is that not necessary, it's kind of illegal. So
it's illegal.
Yeah, well, because somebody else owns that content. That's their trademark or copyright or whatever. So, but also it's not worth it, right? It's not that hard to get new content. So that's not where you need to cut costs, in my opinion. Are all PBNs on different IP addresses when we purchase links from you?
Yes, Ken. A class and C class IPs, all unique.
Yeah. Same with the what do you call it? The name servers.
Yes, unique.
SEO is not death, just changes. Absolutely. I heard Google says nothing but the truth, so help me God. What do you guys think about link building automation software like Autopilot SEO, Booster Pages, Jive Ranker, etc.? My take is that they have their place, but they are limited in scope. What do you think of stuff like that?
Yeah, I think you can really get a little far with that kind of stuff. It's like a burn and churn for me. Like people, that's funny. Like people, some of the people might be watching and they'll be thinking like PBNs are a burn and churn, but this kind of autopilot SEO might be a burn and churn for me. But maybe I just don't. I've never tried it. I don't need to try these softwares.
Yeah, they can be. If you want to do your tiered link, that's what you do. Is you build a bunch of those. But I don't know. They're fine for YouTube videos and things like that, but I don't use them on my money sites. Other people do, and that's fine. Not everybody has to do the same thing. There are people that don't use PBNs. So I use of the ones you mentioned, Jive Ranker is the only one I've used. So I tried SEO Autopilot and it was too confusing. How to find expired domains. I mean, that's a bit broad, but what tools do you use? And, how do you, I guess, how do you start a search?
So we have an in-house team who does this for us. And what they look for is they literally get lists of all the newly dropped domains. And at the time of like expiring, like in 4 minutes and stuff, they'll just grab it at the right time. Like that's one of the technique the team uses. But yeah, I just can't show you the full method because.
Sure. Let me ask you this. What's your take on expired versus auction domains?
I mean, if you know how to find really good expired dropped domains, you don't need to go at the auction. You don't need to choose the auction domains. Even like some of my clients on Legit, for example, they'll come for the service, expired domains for money site, and I'll just give them a drop domain. And 6 months later, they're killing it with the website, So it's just what you do with it. And also like, if you're really finding a good one, like it's up to you.
Yeah, I do find it takes a bit more skill to find a good expired domain versus a good auction domain, but auction domains are so much more expensive and it takes so long.
Yeah,
the auction is 2 weeks, and then like it's another, if you win, it's like another 4 days before they load it into your account. And then you have to wait, you have to go and pay for it after you've won it, and then you have to go and set it up. It just adds way too much time. And then you always get sniped at the last minute too. So it's like, and you end up overpaying too, because you get emotional about it, right? Like you'd be like, I don't really want this one. So you end up paying more than
$2,000 domain.
Yeah. Is it true if sites are not verified via Google Webmaster, they get deranked? That is not true at all. Can you target 100 Ds of keywords? 100 Ds. I'm not sure what that means. 100 Ds. I don't get that one. Will PBN links work to increase traffic to an app on the Apple Play Store? I doubt it. I've never done that.
Never tried it.
Say you are trying to rank for a medium service or a medium competition location plus service. You are trying to rank for a medium competition but service. Would you utilize unique anchors but linking to homepage and location page, or just focus your links on the location page? That's a great question. I think I know what your answer is going to be, but do you link only to the homepage? Do you link directly to your money page, or what's your take on that?
I mean, if you have an inner page which is medium competition, location, and service, it's kind of silly not to have other pages, don't you think, Chris? Like, you should have other money pages as well, and even the homepage should be targeting for something.
Well, I think what he's asking is, do you link out to any specific, like just to money pages or to the homepage? Do you link to the about page? Do you link to all the pages?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll do the inner page linking, but I'll make sure like on the second month or the third month, I'm not hitting it too often because I want to make it look natural. So I'll try to pick other pages as well.
Okay. Smart. Normally, how many PBN links do you need for local SEO? I think we know what the answer to that is. It depends.
Depends.
Yeah, it just depends on the competition, the site, the authority of the site, and what you've done up to that point, and a bunch of other things. So you have to, it's a case by case basis. I saw massive linking to CDN pictures working. Good, I guess. I've not done that. So if Google bots can see the links, can't Ahrefs and other tools, SEO tools, see them? No. So you can do it through code, but there are also plugins that let you block specific bots. So Ahrefs has its own bot. A bot is a piece of software that they send out that crawls your site like a spider, reads the information, and pulls it into the tool. Google works on the same principle. It's just better at it. So we just block all of those, SEMrush, Majestic, Ahrefs, Moz, and hundreds of others. And the only one that gets to see it is Google. And if I wish we could get away with blocking Google too, but that would defeat the purpose. But like I wish there were a way to keep it from showing up in Search Console too. So if your PBN's same like English in the other language, I guess he's saying if you build one in a foreign language, does it work the same? And the answer would be yes. I haven't done that, but I don't see why it wouldn't. I love topical, but Google doesn't care. SEO autopilot ranks fine. Okay. You need to combine it with autopilot, all sites with links from New York Times and Wikipedia and traffic, even with trust flow 0. Okay. Does a small PBN network of 5% sites make sense for private use to promote one money site only, or is it more effective to just purchase PBN links? If it's working, then you're good. But I think you're going to have to either add more sites to it eventually or just buy some links, because you can't just, if you are fat and you work out and you eat right and you get in shape, you're in shape, but you have to keep working out to stay in shape or you're going to get fat again. Same with SEO. Like if your site isn't ranking, you put in a lot of work, you build a PBN, you get it to rank, it's ranking, you're in shape. But if you don't keep working on it, you're going to get out of shape again. So you're going to have to continue to build more at some point. Whether that's adding more to your own network or buying links just depends on your budget and your time and how you want to do it. Unless you have a different opinion on that.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I don't want to be fat either.
Tevi Chiropractic and Sports Medicine Clinic says, would you please explain your position on topical relevancy? If I would like to rank crime scene cleanup, I wonder why he's choosing that example. How would a link from a former doggy daycare site help?
Yeah, so I think you kind of misunderstood something. So the topical relevancy, I was talking about the content on your website, which is related to crime scene cleanup, and that kind of the topical relevancy I was talking about. And yeah, the former doggy daycare would just be, if it was, let's say it's example.com and it was a former doggy daycare, we'll just set up as a normal authority domain, and then we'll start including other niches and just works fine,
I think you're overestimating how important that is, more or less. So, and I get it. That's like the conventional wisdom, is that the original site had to be relevant or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Like,
no.
Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. All right. Great conversation today, guys. Friend of mine has tool creates 1,000 PBN blogs on WordPress. If anyone is interested, I can introduce them. That's probably Yive sites. When someone uses your PBN for non-English website, it's the same. We already answered that, I think.
Yeah.
Topical relevancy is needed for high volume keywords, but low volume will, okay. That's not really my experience, but if that's what's working for you, good for you. But you can lose weight digitally by getting a PBN. All right. Let me, we're at the end of the questions. Let me go ahead and drop the link again. We got about 5 minutes left. So if you have any more questions, let us know. Is there anything you want to, while we got a break here, anything you want to address or talk about? People can find you on Legit. Where else that you'd like them to find you?
Yeah, so you can come on Legit, check out our services, and just put a test order. And even like for audits and stuff, if you kind of confused how many PV links you should get and how many pages you should target to get that goal you have in mind, yeah, I'll just happy to navigate you to the whole process and give you like right amount of expectations. Because yeah, the recent case study, Chris, like we just didn't do for this only site. It was multiple sites before I made this video, and I was like, okay, I have to be sure about this, and I'm backing up with other site rankings as well. So yeah, even if you're in the higher competitive niches like finance, travel, review websites and stuff, like we can take your site to new levels with PBNs.
Some lady named Susanna just liked our post. Do you know her?
Not really.
No, you don't know her. For those that don't get the joke, that's his lady. So, how do you find WP themes that will show full content instead of read more? If they don't, there's a plugin called something excerpt. I forget the name, but that will force it.
Yeah. Remove excerpt. Remove excerpt.
I don't think that's it. It's something excerpt, but if you search excerpt, the plugin will display the full post, or you can set the number of words it'll display, and that's what I use to get around that, because most of them don't show the full post anymore. So, Robbie, what's up, Robbie? Says, is there a way to find expired domain per city? Working on an internal app to do it via Whois info. Is there any way to find locally expired domains? I mean, you could use a tool like Register Compass or Spamzilla, but I think they're going to be few and far between.
Yeah, I think you can try with all the tools out there and see if you find something, because this is very relevant to your business. So it's very little chance that you're going to find something to your city.
Yeah, I mean, I've found some with city in the name before, but they're really weak usually. So
yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah. I'm in finance, so would like to talk with you. Great. Just message him on legit at legit.com/Saket Wahi, and he'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Yes. Any possibility to work with you, Saket? Same thing there. Just message him on legit and go from there. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got 3 minutes left. You can also check you out on YouTube, right?
Yeah, YouTube. I've been planning to post a couple of videos for the next coming months. So make sure you go to my YouTube channel and see all the strategies and stuff, and subscribe just, for new content that's coming up.
Yeah. I love making content, but it's tiring, right? Like it's a lot more work than it looks like from a viewer's perspective, because
people just see us talking and then you realize there are two cameras, there's this editor, and this, it has to be both.
Yeah, I've got a light here and a light here and a microphone here and a camera here and 2 monitors here, and I don't have that elaborate of a setup. And then the editing takes forever, and it's not what I'm good at, and I don't want to spend my time doing it. So, good stuff. Thanks, gentlemen. Thank you, Facebook user. What is your YouTube channel name? I think if you just search your name, right, it's just Saket Wahi.
Yeah, Saket Wahi.
I don't have it up, or I would grab it. How long do you keep the links?
Forever.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing lasts forever.
Right, but I mean, essentially forever. That's how I usually answer that. Is like, I can't guarantee that 10 years from now, 5 years from now, I won't retire, but at least a few years, I guess, is the best answer you can give there, right?
Thanks, Robbie.
All right, I'm going to drop your YouTube channel link as well. Got a couple people asking for that. What is the name of your YouTube channel? Just search Saket Wahi or visit YouTube. YouTube has the dumbest URLs, but youtube.com/c/Saket Wahi. Laru says, thank you guys for awesome stuff. Thank you. For expired domains, I use an app called Expired Domain Center, apps on Google Play. I'll have to check that out. Taxes last forever, and not the truth. What's the most used tools when managing PBNs? That's a good question. How do you track them? Do you have like a software, or do you use spreadsheets, or what do you do?
I mean, I'm not that technical in this one, but I think Rohin will be a proper guy to answer it, because I've seen his operations. Mm-hmm. It's all automated. So Hector, message Rohin Dua if you want to know about the tools. But we use very mostly the team are doing everything through their own hands. I feel like that's more lucrative and more professional way of doing things. I just don't rely much on automating and stuff.
Yeah. Georgie that works for me actually built a software that we use internally that tracks like what link is on what site and what customer and what order. And it's a whole database thing that he literally had built. And so we're not giving that out though. That's not something we're going to sell, but it's that's helped us a lot. And it's really pretty basic. Like anybody would get it done built for like $1,000 or something. So Jill says, loved this. Thank you, Jill. Jeff says, great webinar. Thanks a lot, Jeff. All right. That's the end of the questions. Anything else you'd like to say or cover?
Yeah, thanks for watching this live stream. Chris is digging his glasses. And yeah, SEO is just very simple. Keep it simple. Don't listen to the gurus. And yeah, just accept us. just try different services and see what's getting you more results in a quicker time, because some people will just keep you on a long contract of being like, okay, I'm going to start doing links for you for 1 year and then you're going to see results. Just don't waste your time. See who's giving you results and choose that person. Chris, or it's either me.
Yeah, there's a couple more questions. Can a user PBN services for website in Spanish? Yes. Do you have medical links? We can make any niche that you need. Can you use for website in Spanish? That's interesting. Oh, it's the same person. It's just different places. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for your time, Saket.
Thanks, brother.
Hopefully we'll do this again before 2 years this time. If you have any questions, I will read the comments later on. So just ask them there and wherever you're watching this. And thanks for joining us. I know it's a bit early. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you again. And remember, the way you get to Mount Olympus is to make sure every step you take is in that direction. So have a great day, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Oh, next week I will be on with Hark Magnus. So be on the lookout for that. Talk to you soon. Peace.